Alright, tonight I'm actually test driving this 2013 Volkswagen Jetta GLI, and so I thought I'd show you guys what I'm looking at here. I've done a few of these car shopping videos before. I actually did a Kia Optima that I haven't uploaded yet. That was from a couple weeks ago. It was a nice car, but it was just too expensive for me. But anyway, this is the 2013 Jetta GLI. And this is just like a base model GLI, so it doesn't have a sunroof, it doesn't have the nicer wheels, it has cloth seats with leather on the side. So we'll take a look around the car, go over some of the features, and we'll go out for a drive. So here in the front, being kind of a more basic model GLI, it does not have HID lights, just has like the regular halogen ones. It does have fog lights though. And I really like the honeycomb grille. I think it looks really nice, and it has kind of the chrome stripes on there as well with the GLI emblem in the grille. It's kind of a classic GLI look. They did a similar thing on previous generation GLIs. I think it looks really nice. It's kind of an aggressive look, but it still has the mature and sophisticated kind of profile of the regular Jetta. Looks really nice. And then around the side here, the GLI gets slightly sleeker looking mirrors. They kind of curve up on the bottom a little bit, and they're just not quite as blocky as the regular Jetta mirrors. I like them a lot on this car. It has a 17-inch alloys, and if I were to buy this car, I would immediately switch out the tires. I've actually priced out some tires that I would like to put on this if I decide to buy it. They're Hankook Ventus V12 Evo 2s, and so I would do that before I even take it off the lot. I'd put tires on it. These aren't in bad condition, they're just not very nice tires. So they're just kind of like a cheap tire, really. They don't have a lot of tread left, but they're okay. I just want to upgrade them to something nicer. So I would do that immediately before even taking the car home. The GLI has the black molding along the bottom of the side skirts and a little bit on the front bumper as well. And it has like a polished stripe on the bottom of the windows, which looks really nice. Again, no sunroof. I think this car would look really nice with a black roof, and you could easily do that because the radio antenna is already black. And then in the back here, it has chrome exhaust tips, which are extremely dirty at the moment. And it also has a lip spoiler here, which is nice. It has kind of a black plastic diffuser looking panel on the bottom. Also, the GLI gets LED tail lights, which is cool. And then on the other side, it's obviously the same as the driver's side. And we have Volkswagen's traditional switchblade key. And the doors on this, as with any Jetta, feel really nice and solid. It also has the turn signals in the mirrors there, which is pretty cool. And as far as the seats go, there's leather on the outside, there's red stitching, and the inside is this kind of sporty looking cloth material. So it's not bad. The power backrest thing is right there, but everything else on the seat is manual. You have GLI on the door sills, and it has the GLI monster mats as well as the cloth mats, which is pretty cool. So we'll step inside here. This is the same steering wheel as the Mark 6 GTI, so it's kind of a sportier looking steering wheel than you get in a regular Jetta. It has a bit of a flat bottom to it, but it's not super aggressive. It has these chunky bolsterings here on some of the points at which you normally grip the wheel. It has paddle shifters because this is a DSG. And it also has your multi-function controls for your audio and the trip computer. So we'll go ahead and start it up. Nice and smooth. And we'll close the door here. So one of the things I plan on doing, in addition to the tires, if I were to buy this car, is I'd wrap this in probably like a carbon fiber vinyl. I don't mind the silver, but I just want to make something more unique in here. We'll turn on the lights so you can see the backlighting and stuff. It's all red, which is pretty cool. You have your typical Jetta gauge cluster. Since this is the GLI, it has the center screen that's a little bit larger, and you have the controls for it on the steering wheel. The Jetta, like the normal Jetta, just has like a smaller screen there with a digital fuel gauge, and the trip computer is controlled on the rocker switch on the side of the wiper stalk. So the hybrid and the GLI actually get this bigger screen. It's basically the same cluster you get in a Passat, because it has the temperature gauge and the fuel gauges there, and the larger screen in the middle. So it fills out the steering wheel quite nicely, because on a regular Jetta this is just blank here and it looks kind of tacky. Then we have the RCD 310, I believe. No, RCD 510. audio system. I might be wrong on those. It's been a long time since I've really researched Volkswagens. Powered on here, and it's not a bad audio system. It sounds okay. And so it's not a bad sounding system. It's just the graphics are really dated looking. So like if we go to selection here, I've only got a couple songs on here because it's an SD card. It's an okay system. It's not the greatest, but it's certainly fine. You just have single zone manual climate control, pretty basic stuff. Although one thing I do really like on Volkswagens is the zone knob here is pretty much infinitely variable. So on a lot of cars you can select the vent, or you can select the foot thing, or you can select defrost and the foot vents, or you can select just defrost. On this you can do a combination of pretty much whatever you want, which is pretty sweet. I've always liked that a lot about Volkswagens. A power outlet up there, aux port. There is no USB, so that's why I have my SD card in here. I just threw a couple of random songs on it. And then we have the DSG transmission, red stitching on the boot, which is pretty cool, and red stitching on the e-brake. Alright, we'll take the GLI here out for a quick drive. So we'll just use normal drive mode now. And what's really cool that I've noticed is under light acceleration, it shifts into second gear almost right away. I mean, just, right off the line, it'll quickly shift into second. And what that does is it gives you a nice, consistent, long surge of torque, which is really cool. So you don't really have this kind of choppiness of it shifting. It's just a long surge of torque as you're trying to get up to speed. There's an ever so slight delay after lifting your foot off the brake that it will actually pick up and get going. But you're going to have that with any dual clutch, and this is by far the best. I drove a Hyundai Veloster recently, and it had the dual clutch, and it just wasn't as quick and snappy as this is. I mean, the gear changes especially are incredibly fast. So we'll put it into manual mode here, and it has the paddle shifters, which I've been using actually quite a bit. I know it's obviously not the same as driving a true stick shift, but it's not bad at all. I'm not going to get into it too much. But, even about half throttle or whatever, it gets up and it goes pretty well. And it makes a good sound, too. Once you get it up to speed, it's pretty quiet. There's a little bit of tire noise, but like I said, the tires that are on it right now really aren't the greatest. So I can kind of forgive it for that.